In this video, I'm going to share with you the top 9 mistakes most buyers make when building new construction in the Austin area and how to avoid them. So to kick things off, I just want to give you a very quick background of how I've acquired this knowledge. So over the course of the last 17 years, I have worked with all of the top national builders in the Austin area. When I actually started my real estate career, I was an on-site agent for new construction. So I was going to the meetings and I was in all the trainings and I did all the script practice and I was in that model home day in and day out selling new construction. So after years of selling new construction homes, I noticed these patterns, and there were always these key details that I felt like our families would always overlook. So if you are considering a move to the Austin area and you want to investigate new construction homes, listen up. I am happy to bring you this valuable information so you can avoid these 9 common mistakes. There are so many details when you're considering new construction homes. Not only location, but builder reputation, city zoning, taxing entities such as those utility districts, special assessments, land restrictions, and that is just the tip of the iceberg. I caution you to always consider having your own representation when you buy new. I am in this world every day and I continue to learn new things all the time to help protect my clients. So it is imperative that you seek out a seasoned professional to go through this process with you. Now, when you visit the new home community, the builder reps that are in the model homes are very helpful and informative. I know because I was one. But a lot of folks don't think about the on-site rep as the builder's representative, representing the builder's best interest. Now, they are employed by the builder and their salary, bonuses, and incentives are to get the builder the highest price for the home. Having an experienced buyer's representative in your corner is a must with new and resale homes. So just know that we've got you covered when you're making a move to Austin, Texas. All right, so we're gonna kick this off with something that you may not think twice about until you move in, and then unfortunately it's too late. We're starting with number 1, and it is a Texas must. The location of, or the direction of the back of your home, which way your back patio is facing. Okay, very important. Picture this. You splurge on the extended back patio, you've got that outdoor kitchen and it's beautiful. You have the whole family over, your friends are excited to see your new setup, and your plan is to hang out and to grill and have a really good time. Now, the Texas sun, it is setting, and remember, we're in Texas where it gets over 100 degrees frequently in the summer months. The sun is just beating down on you and everybody wants to go inside because it's blistering hot. And it's not enjoyable to be cooked alongside of the food. So I highly recommend that you do not purchase a lot in a community where the back patio is facing west. You really need to listen to me here. I have had clients sell their homes for this reason. If you never go outside, then this may not apply to you at all, but most folks move here to enjoy the over 300 days a year of sunshine that we have. So heed my warning. It's usually my second-time buyers who have been in this situation in their last house that are the most adamant that they will never do that again. They remember how miserable and hot that it can be, and they hated not being able to enjoy their patio in the summer. So if it's your only option in the community, then the next best alternative is that you find a lot that backs up to a nature preserve where there's a lot of trees already grown and mature, and they can help shelter you from some of that blazing hot sun. All right, number 2, and this has to do with the design process of your home. If it's a 2-story home and you have stairs, a lot of times a solid wall is what will come included as a standard feature. This is called a knee wall, or it's called a half wall. And you're gonna see them going up the side of the stairs. And then upstairs, if you have a loft area, there's also the same knee wall, and it's a solid wall frame, and it's like a block box at the top at the loft. So my recommendation is that you upgrade that to stair spindles. So what that's gonna do is that's gonna open everything up and it's gonna let light shine through, which will make the stairs in the loft feel a lot larger and it's going to be a lot brighter. So for the money, it is well worth it, because imagine if your stairs are closed off and your loft is also closed off, it's going to cast shadows and make everything feel much smaller. So you definitely want to upgrade the stairwell and the loft to the open spindles. All right, the number 3 mistake I do not want you to make is about the insulation. Now, this is a fantastic one for you to ask a lot of questions about. The insulation's number 1 purpose is for heating and cooling in the comfort of your home. But insulation can also be used to insulate against noise. So my recommendation is, if your master bedroom is anywhere near, say, the family room, what you want to do is you want to have them insulate the wall between them. Insulating the wall between the family room and the master bedroom is a great way to cut down on noise. The other wall that I would insulate is around your laundry room. Now, if your laundry room is anywhere near the master bedroom, then you'll also want to insulate around those walls to cut down on the noise inside. So when they're putting in the insulation, if you have the option to pay a little bit more money to have the insulations put in around those walls, the investment is going to be peanuts compared to the long-term benefit that you're going to gain from that. All right, we are sailing through these mistakes. And if this is helpful so far, I want to ask you please to like this video and subscribe to this channel so we can reach and help other people just like you find these videos, and you can continue to see other helpful videos to make your move to the Austin area an easy transition. All right, let's keep going. All right, number 4 is fast and simple. It is to vent the microwave to the exterior of the home. You would think that that already happens, but sometimes the builders may not vent the exhaust from the microwave over the stove to the outside of the house. And the microwave just filters the air and recirculates it through the house. So if you can upgrade to have the stove exhaust through the microwave vented outside, absolutely do it. It would be a minimal cost, but the best part about it is no matter what you're cooking, it's not gonna linger around in the house forever. All right, number 5, super important. It's all about not making an impulse decision. You are emotionally charged, and that is not the time to make a decision as big as buying a house. This purchase is a lot of people's largest investment. So I'm going to give you, first of all, the example of why that's not a good idea to make an impulse decision, and then also ways to avoid catching yourself in that situation. So you may have already found yourself in the situation, and if you're watching this after the fact and you're just now finding that out, and I'm sorry because that's going to be a little bit painful. But first and foremost, whenever you go into the builder's model, I want you to realize that everything in that model, including the colors, the layout, the music, the smell, maybe even the cookies that they're offering you, and even the on-site, they are all speaking and calling to your senses and your emotions. It's designed that way. They have done so much research to find out what triggers people's buying emotions and senses, and literally, it's like walking into a mousetrap. So when you walk into these model homes, it's mesmerizing. You feel like you're in heaven. You're like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. And the salesperson, that's the on-site salesperson, which is what I did for several years, is trained specifically in what words to use and what to ask and how to help you visualize yourself falling in love and living out your life in this model. So it's an absolute disaster for the unsuspecting family that walks through without an agent like me. That's the reason that some people find themselves signing a contract when they never even had an intention on buying a home that day. So, like I said, the on-site agents, they are highly specialized salespeople. They have been trained extensively, and it's all about getting you to make a commitment on that first visit. Because if you leave after the first visit, your likelihood of buying a home drops substantially. So really, the people in the model homes, really great people, but make no mistake, their only reason for being there is to sell you a home. So how do we avoid getting caught up in this type of situation? The key is knowing what you want versus knowing what you need. These are just some of the things that we're going to go over on our first call together, and we're actually going to write them down. So when we enter these situations in the different model homes, you are going to walk in confident armed and prepared. We're gonna cover why you're wanting to make this move, what's your core motivation, and are you just bored with your current home and maybe need to do some upgrades, or do you legitimately need a larger home or a different location? Because whatever the reason is, we're gonna pinpoint that primary motivation that is driving the entire process. Now, time to put on your game face. You have your list and your trusted advisor, that's me. And now we're gonna go tour these homes with confidence in what you really want to accomplish. Now, if you want a checklist, our team has created a list to help you walk through and ask yourself these questions. So if you would like that, you are welcome to shoot me a quick message and I'll make sure that you get that PDF. It's completely free, there's no strings attached. It'll just give you more of a map and it'll bring in those logical questions that are super important for you to ask yourself and to sit down as a family and talk about so you don't get stuck with an impulse decision. So keep in mind, a lot of times people will tell me, Brandy, this is my forever home. And I couldn't tell you how many times people tell me that. And my feeling is that they say it to sometimes help justify making an impulse decision. So all the statistics say that most people are gonna move every 5 to 7 years. So I'm gonna summarize number 5 because it got a little long-winded there. Number 5 mistake is to make an impulse decision and being in an emotionally charged state. So we're gonna get you taken care of. Now, let's jump into mistake number 6. Mistake number 6, it's all about location. Now, I'm gonna have to paint the worst case scenario picture, and it's just because I've seen it so many times. Okay, you're in this emotionally charged state. So whenever you're in the model home, you're like, oh my goodness, this model is amazing. It's got the latest styles. Everything is shiny and new. I've just got to have it. I can't possibly go back to my house now. That place is old, used, and worn out. I need this new house. And then the on-site agent is going to say, okay, well, we have 3 lots available and they're the last ones that will accommodate this floor plan. And there's lot A, B, and C. And there is one that has a 0 premium, which means that you don't have to pay extra for that lot. And so you look at the lot and let's say it's on the perimeter of the actual community. So the land behind it is not owned by the community. Right now, it's trees and it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but it's not actually owned by the community. These are red flags. So they are flying high right now. You need to be on high alert. So here's what's not to do. Don't look over at your spouse and you're both thinking, oh, well, you know, there's only 3 sites left and this one doesn't have a premium and they're offering us $15,000 to sign today. So what I see families do is they begin to justify an inferior home lot at this time. Now, let's just play this example out. You buy that 0 premium lot. The lender offers you another $15,000 incentive to sign today, and it's going to be money towards your closing costs. So fast forward a year. Remember those trees that are not owned by the community? Those trees have now been torn down and the neighboring developer has decided that that is the perfect spot for their neighborhood power lines, or maybe it's the perfect spot for the community center dumpsters to go. So you can see what a disaster that this can turn into. And you're not like, now you're feeling like, I actually hate this lot and I can't believe I purchased this lot. I love my house, but I hate my lot. Because now you're either staring at power lines or, God forbid, dumpsters. But the problem is, who is going to buy the inferior lot from you? So in the front end, when you're trying to save on lot premiums, you may actually cost yourself a lot more money down the road. So when you're thinking about location, there are a couple of items that you want to consider. And this is critical because let's face it, when you go into the model home, you see this beautiful artist renderings and the maps of the community and the ponds and the trees and all the green space. And that's just not real life. It is a rendering of what they are actually trying to sell you. Let's just say at the beginning, there's the builder maps and the renderings, and this is what they're forecasting, but it's never actually the way that the renderings show you. Additionally, the on-site salespeople, they are telling the folks that are coming there that are buying these new homes what they think or what they're told is going to happen. A lot of the times the key phrase that they're saying is, there's no plans for that property to be developed. But let's be crystal clear. If the community does not own the land, and even sometimes when it does, you have to expect that the property around you, especially if it's trees, unless it's a nature preserve or it's protected, it can be developed. Trust me on this. This is so very important. I believe that the location of the lot within the community is everything. So for location, you are not only going to look at the macro meaning where you fall in the entire community, what type of developments are going in around you or around the exterior of the community. It's going to be, where are the major roads, and is it going to be high-end or a large-scale retail nearby? What are the future plans for power lines? Are there plans for any other additional subdivisions that are going to back up to yours? Also maybe for apartment communities. So this is why that we suggest you do not go it alone. We are here to walk you through all of the things, and we want to protect you and your family and your investment. And then you also want to look at the micro aspects of your location, and that really comes down to the home site itself. What is next to your home site, next to your lot, what it's close to, even within the neighborhood. So the yard on new construction is critically important, because in communities that have a couple of thousands homes, the homes themselves are not that unique, because sometimes you're going to see a lot of the same floor plans repeated within the neighborhood and even the exterior elevations. So in my opinion, I argue that the most unique aspect of a home in new construction is the actual lot. So in many ways, you can avoid making any mistakes as far as the lot that you're going to choose within a community if you just slow down and take the time to ask a ton of questions. Okay, I will see you in mistake number 7. Okay, we are getting right through this. All right, folks, we're in this together. So thank you for spending this time with me. Okay, so mistake number 7 is a buyer not fully understanding the cost associated with new construction on many levels. And I'm going to talk you through those. The first costs are always going to be the lot cost. The way that the new construction works is you find the floor plan that you like, and that floor plan has a base price. And then depending on the home site, you choose the lot, and then you have the lot costs, or what we'll call lot premiums. So they're different depending on the actual lot and the desirability of the lot. There's a couple of factors that play into how builders price the lots, and it comes down to size, how large the home site is, and then also the privacy. So many times if it backs up to, say, water or a greenbelt area, that's going to be a higher lot cost. And if it backs up to, say, privacy trees, there's definitely going to be a higher lot cost associated with that. Sometimes you can get lots that have no premium, but guess what? The lot fee itself is directly correlated to the desirability of the lot. Please keep that in mind. So I encourage everyone, if you're going to spend money, if you're going to splurge, you need to splurge on the home site itself, because you will never regret that. Now, you can change so many aspects of your actual house while you're living in it, but you can never change the lot and the location of the lot itself. These lot costs I've seen range anywhere from $0 lot premium to $100,000 lot premium. So keep in mind, you're going to choose the floor plan, which is the base price, and then you're going to add the lot cost to that base price. Now, the other cost that catches buyers off guard in new construction is the structural cost. So oftentimes the structural elements are decided at the time that you are writing the contract. So that's why if you are in that emotionally charged state that we talked about, and you make an impulse decision and you're signing papers on the first visit, you haven't really fully thought through these structural changes, and you may want to hold off, take a minute, and really think this through. I've seen a lot of people get upset because after the fact they say, hey, actually we want to turn this half bath into a full bath, and this is a week after they've signed the contract, and the builder says, no, you're not allowed to make those changes at this time. Or they're going to charge you, you know, $200, $500 to make those changes because they have to be decided at the time of contract. And so, you know, a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. So I want you to understand that structural changes are things like additional bathrooms or adding an upstairs loft or an extended patio. So what I do when I'm assisting folks with new construction, and what I would highly recommend for you when you're going through the purchase process, is to request a list of all available standard features and the structural options and their prices. So pro tip, do not max out your budget here, because I'm going to take the base price plus the lot premium plus any structural changes plus the next expense we're about to go over, which is in cosmetic options. Now, I know this can seem overwhelming, so hang in there. I know I will always work closely with you and the on-site to get a feel of the actual sales prices that you're gonna be looking at in each neighborhood. So I'm sure by now that it's becoming clear that the base price is just the beginning. So when you see that builder sign on the side of the road that says homes starting in the 400s, well, now you know that is just the beginning. That is before any of these additional expenses that you're learning about today. So we haven't even been to the design center yet, so just hold on. But before we get to the design center, if you are finding this information to be helpful, then I would appreciate it if you would be so kind as to like and subscribe to this channel. That really helps other folks that are looking for this type of information to find me and to benefit from this information. Back to it. Cosmetic options are the fun stuff. This is when you go to the design center and you can choose the color of your countertops, and you can choose the color of your cabinets. You can choose your floors, your hardware, your lighting, and all the additional fixtures that you want to add to the home. It is fun, but dangerous. This is where you can actually spend a lot of money very fast. I think some of the estimates right now are anywhere from 15 to 20% of the cost of the home is what you'll add in additional features at the design center. So you can definitely pay a lot in these additional upgrades. Now, if the base price of the home is $500,000, when you go to the design center, you could be adding another $75,000 in cosmetic options. So now the price is $575,000 plus the lot cost plus any structural changes. So you see how this works? The design center will have 15 levels of countertops for you to choose from, and they're all increasing in price as we go up in numbers. These wood floors could bring a tear to your eye because they are so beautiful. So again, we go into the design center with a plan. I've had couples that I've been in the design center with that they will literally tell me, Brandi, do not let them bring out anything but level 1 and 2. That is what our budget is, so that is where we're gonna stay. Now you can definitely stand firm and say, hey, we just wanna go with the standard features that come in the home. We'll do our upgrades ourselves down the line. And that's completely fine too. A few things to keep in mind is I work with the on-site builders really closely on your behalf, because what I want to do is determine what the neighborhood averages are. How much are people putting in these homes? And I want you to be prepared, because at some point you are going to be in your neighbors' homes because they are your new built-in friends, and you definitely do not want to go into their homes and see that tear-worthy wood flooring that you wanted to pick so badly and that custom backsplash that you decided against. A big pro tip with this is to find out when the builder is having an open house at the design center. They have them usually say once a week. So you can go to the design center and you can preview what your choices are, and you can look through all the colors and the many levels that you have to choose from. So when you sign a contract, they're gonna schedule you for your design center appointment within the first few weeks. And your design center appointment lasts normally like let's say 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours. And within this period, the designer is going to expect you to make almost all of these decisions on your house. So that's when you find out how much it's actually going to cost. So wouldn't it be nice if you could go beforehand, you could do a little homework and you could have a good idea of what your budget is going to be. Try to get some pricing instead of having complete sticker shock when you're there at the design center appointment and then get in an argument with your spouse, because I've had that happen before. Super uncomfortable. Okay, now let's jump into mistake number 8, which has everything to do with resale. Whenever you buy your home and you're in the model home and you're thinking, oh my goodness, it's brand new, it is amazing, it is my dream home, this is my forever house, I will die here. And then you begin to justify that inferior home site, or you justify a home that has kind of an awkward layout just because you're getting such a good deal. Please keep in mind, at some point, you're going to have to sell this home. This really comes down to your long-term plans. I know everybody says that it's going to be their forever home, but remember, statistically, an average person moves every 5 to 7 years. So based on that statistic, when you make a purchase, you must do yourself justice to plan for when you're going to also resell this home. So begin with the end in mind. You want to be sure that you're making choices that are going to be desirable for the widest amount of the market. Because if you buy something hyper custom to you that's very specific, you could have a hard time selling it on the back end. And you might actually lose money if it's really, really specific. The biggest tip that I can say with resale is choose a great lot. Have you heard that before from me? At the end of the day, in a new construction community, the lot is the most unique aspect of real estate, and privacy is one of the biggest aspects that I see in resales that buyers ask for. Or they'll choose that they don't want this home site because it's not private enough. So the other part is the floor plan. So for example, whenever you buy your new home and say it's a 3-bedroom plus an office, or it's a 4-bedroom and a formal living room, there's probably an option for an additional, say, $1,500 to $2,000 for you to close in that formal living room and make it an actual office with French doors. So I'm gonna say spend the money, make the upgrade, because buyers, a lot of times they'll say maybe they don't want to spend the extra $1,500 to $2,000 because it's out of their budget. But listen, when you try to resell that home, you want the most people to be interested in the plan. So if you have a 4-bedroom, a game room, a formal living, and a flex space, and no office, it's not going to be as desirable in this market. People want more bedrooms. People want the game rooms plus an office. So this is definitely a quick win. Close in those formal living and flex spaces, because most buyers now, they don't formally live, they don't formally dine. We just don't, because we have those kitchens, those dine-in kitchens now. And so that's where a majority of our meals are, right? Now you can also close in the formal living room and make it an actual bedroom. So you'll get that option as well, where you can add a closet and a door. Now you have an additional bedroom to the house. So closing in the dining rooms, formal dining rooms, into an office. So we're taking a 4-bedroom plus a formal living into a 5-bedroom plus an office. So you want to look for those quick wins whenever you're designing the structure of your home to make it as desirable as possible for the next buyer. Okay, on to number 9. Okay, we made it to number 9, and that is timing. Timing in the overall lifespan of the community. Now, if you're one of the first buyers in a community that can take 5, 10, even 15 years to sell out, just know that when it comes time for you to sell, you're most likely going to be competing against the new home builder, which is very difficult. Now, if you're a buyer coming to town and you say to me, hey Brandy, I'm only going to be stationed here for 2 years, then it would really depend on the location and the scenario for me to recommend new construction. I'd want to be in like a closeout phase if we were going to do that. So when it comes time to sell your home, buyers are choosing between brand new everything and having the warranties and being able to pick their finish out, or maybe they're looking at a resale home in the same neighborhood that's 2 years old in the community, and that one is out of warranty and maybe it's just a little lived in at this point. So it's going to be very difficult for resales in a new home community to compete against the builder. Keep in mind, Even if you're priced identical to the new construction, the builder is more than likely offering those incentives, those enticing incentives that you were given to help you with your closing costs and to get in for less money. So you can see why that your timing really comes into play here. Think, are you going to outlast the builder? You need to know their plan to make your plan. Now, if you are at least going to be there until the builder is gone, then you're going to be good to go. There you have it. That is the 9 most common buyer mistakes that you do not want to make when buying new construction. Now, the good news is you do not have to do this alone. The builder covers the cost of you having your own representation from an agent. So my experience, market knowledge, and negotiating skills are all yours through the process, whether it is an existing home or a 12-month build time for a complete custom home. My team and I are here to help. You just have to like, subscribe, maybe even book a Zoom call, and we've got you covered when you're making your move to Austin, Texas.